Welcome to our soft launch of the 2016 Baco Motorsports Power Hour season. I'm Louis Amistoy, and I got two great co-hosts. I don't know what's going on with our TV today. It's like out of control today. It's like work, doesn't work.
You know,
like the logo.
I'm blaming Scott Cox.
That's a good blame. Jason Galvin from Channel 17 is here. A long time. He's got motorsports in his blood completely. Have you done any dirt track racing in your career?
So never actually raced. It's on my list of things to try. I did have the chance to go out and drive. Corey Kruzman has a sprint car school out at Ventura Speedway.
Yeah.
And I did some work with K&N, and they hooked me up with Corey. I went out there and did like 80 laps in a midget one day with Corey, and that was wild.
So
that
a mod light might be a good.
A mod light would be really cool. I'd really like to drive a sport mod on dirt personally. Those look like a lot of fun. But
right.
Mod lights would be cool for sure. If anybody has a mod light that they want to let me try to not wreck.
Bakersfield Speedway. We might be able to hook you up because Mike did. I thought one of Mike's better stories last year was on. In fact, it was interesting. I was thinking about this the other day, Mike. When you wrote that story on Bakersfield Speedway and the mod light division and what's going on with that and how it's developed into a nice little class. Who sent you a note thanking you for writing that story?
Mayor Harvey Hall.
Mayor Harvey Hall.
Yeah, he's a race fan. Harvey is sponsored. Harvey used to race, I think. He had race cars. He sponsored race cars. Harvey's a race fan. So he pays attention. It's funny. You don't think Harvey's watching. He's watching.
Oh, Harvey's always watching. We had him on this morning and on the morning show talking about his decision not to rerun. And yeah, he's sharp. Harvey kind of keeps quiet unless he's somewhere he needs to speak.
Right.
He just kind of sits back and takes it all in, but
yeah.
he don't miss much.
It's one of those things where, and he was at Bakersfield Speedway a lot, or at the end of the year when Mike Mosier passed away, at the Mike Mosier night, and gave him the keys to the city and everything. And so, Harvey was instrumental in some of that.
Harvey had cars that ran out there back in the day, and one thing about Harvey's cars on dirt, he spent a lot of money to make them look like they were brand new when they came back to the track the next time.
Yeah.
And that's a little easier to do on pavement than it is on
Right.
dirt because you're beating and banging all the time, but Harvey's cars always looked sharp on the dirt.
Well, we were talking about your buddies at Low Budget TV,
Yep.
and they are fixtures at Bakersfield Speedway, and those guys work their butts off. And what is it they talk about Bakersfield? They love coming to Bakersfield.
They love it. Bakersfield Speedway is their favorite track, and they're like I don't call them world travelers now, but like West Coast travelers. It's funny. The best thing that ever happened to a lot of us was Irwindale Speedway closing for the 2 years that it closed there because Tommy and Jeffrey only ever did stuff at Irwindale. It was never a consideration to do anything else. And when that closed, they're like, what are we gonna do? There's a dirt track in Bakersfield. Like I was like, really? Let's go. And when they started coming there, the dirt guys were so much more receptive to that type of stuff that it just kind of blossomed. All the dirt guys, they'd be at Bakersfield Speedway on Saturday and somebody would walk up, Brad Pounds would walk up to them or Wayne Dotson and they'd be, hey, are you coming to Santa Maria next week? Are you going to be in Hanford the week after that?
Right.
And so it kind of snowballed it. It launched their careers really.
It's funny that you say that they're more receptive. We find on the videos that I do from the tracks, and I put up the highlights as quickly as possible between races, the dirt track videos generally draw a lot more attention than the asphalt videos. So the drivers are just a lot, and fans seem to be a little more engaged.
I agree, totally. I think there's probably a few reasons for that, but
Well, they're so passionate too, and
Right.
I think that and we've had pluses and negatives, from some of those videos, like the fire video last year was interesting, but it's a very passionate group, and I thought we had a really great response from the dirt track guys in 2015. So looking to carry that in 2016. Now, the start of the season for Bakersfield Speedway really begins in earnest. Everything kind of kicks off the 27th of. We have the awards banquet on Saturday night over the Crystal Palace. Mike and I will probably do something from there. We might see the low budget guys there. They were there last year.
You might be there.
You won't be there?
Well, we all got the March Meet warm-up, too.
That's true. That's this weekend as well.
It's hard to be in two places at once.
February 27th, registration, open practice. March 5th, opening night. And they're going to have late models there, and that's always fun to see. I love watching late models. That's a great one.
Late models are fun cars to watch.
Yep.
Sport mods, hobby stocks, American stocks, mini stocks. And what we saw last year of the sport mods was incredible parity out of that division. In fact, I think that's why we had so few sport mod drivers make our all area team, because they were beating each other each week. Anybody can win in a given week.
The thing about sport mods that's interesting, that's kind of the division nationally where like this whole spec movement started, was with dirt sport mods and the IMCA rules and whatnot throughout the country. And everybody's tried to like kind of replicate it in other classes and other series and in different forms of racing. It just doesn't work like it does on dirt. I think it's the dirt, because the dirt is such a great equalizer too. And I mean, it really puts it in the hands of the driver.
Yeah, and the dirt changes so much from week to week and from hour to hour. And, if you're fast in your heat race and you don't guess right for the main event and the track's a little different, well, guess what? You might have some
sometimes
trouble.
in some of those sport mod races, they change from the start of the race to the end because you get 12 cautions and it takes an hour to run the race and the sun goes down.
And the track maybe
the whole track conditions change.
Yeah.
It'll change.
I find it to be fascinating just to watch the track conditions to change. And those little lines and grooves they get into. And I still consider myself a novice at sort of reporting on this sport, but it is fascinating to watch the technical skill.
Saturday at KCRP at the dirt track where Bennett was so fast for basically 3/4 of the race, but you could see he started to slow down. The track was changing. That was the next to last race. A lot of laps on it. The track was changing, and Brad's car was better at the end of the race, and he just blew into the lead.
Brad is so good on dry, slick tracks. I mean, the longer a night goes on, the better.
Right.
The best time to beat Brad Pounds is if the A-Mod main event is the first race of the night. If it's the last race of the night, good luck.
Hey, our condolences to Scott Schweitzer and his family. They had a death in the family, and he was not able to attend today because of those funeral arrangements today. But our thoughts and our wishes with Scott. It's been he's a great friend of this show and been an avid supporter of the Power Hour and everything we've been doing here. So we'll see Scott next week and look forward to seeing him. Hopefully, see him on Saturday at the awards banquet, and look forward to seeing him in the future. We're going to take one more break. We'll be right back with Blake Bowser from Auto Club Formosa Raceway.